Do you think he's made enough money at this point in his career that he doesn't even need dad's money anymore?
Probably not. No, because he's probably only made like. He probably honestly has not even made like 50 million.
Oh, and that's enough to live without dad's money.
Even if you have 50 million, you can't buy your father's love.
Oh my god!
Oh my god! Oh, below the belt, folks! Oh my god! Wow! I'm missing one tooth, but you just knocked all the teeth out of Lance Stroll's mouth.
And speaking of getting the party started.
Yeah. I'm in a race with time. I put my life on the record, always giving it effort at night. I'm always restless, this music's a life sentence. Perfecting my craft in seconds, the essences of the earth. Used to make the world turn, people earn was not deserved. While the weak get knocked down, got people losing their health. This evil's making me mad, I hope I make my father proud. Devote my life to writing raps, I hope I'm on the right path. Spending years of my life that I could never take back. So nod your head to the beat, if you ever had a dream. And everybody else around you just never seemed to believe. That sound exactly like me, I was right in your position. So listen close what I'm saying, don't ever give up your visions on the real. At the start, people doubted I would make it this far, but I'm proving them wrong. Everybody criticized and they hated on me, but I just stay strong. And no matter what I heard them tell me, it didn't change my mind. I'm still pushing on, working hard, I'm in a race with time.
It's time for another episode of the Gridiron Podcast. It's episode 12 of your favorite podcast that your friends just don't know about yet. I'm Nick Shook. That's Katie Caldwell. Down at the bottom, if you're watching on YouTube or Twitch, is Sean Barie. Folks, it's been a couple weeks since we've podcasted, and there's kind of a good reason for that. NFL training camps do not produce necessarily the best news.
Speak for yourself, Nick.
And F1 is in a summer break, but for those of you watching on TV or on YouTube right now, I just have to say this straight up right now because you're going to notice this. I don't have a tooth.
I was going to say, let's just get the elephant in the room out of the way right now. Nick is missing a tooth. Smile, Nick. There we go. Them pearly
I am
browns.
the toothless freak.
Tell him why.
I wasn't born with adult laterals in my mouth, and I got one of them knocked out by a fastball when I was 13. They took the other one out to leave the space in. I was supposed to get implants. I never got implants because I developed an underbite late because I bloomed late, right? So I've been wearing a thing they call a flipper with fake teeth on it for a long time. Well, that fell out of my mouth while I was flossing the other night, hit the sink, and one of the teeth broke off. So big old hole there, trying to do my best as a hockey player. So as I smile, which I will, don't be alarmed. I am getting it fixed. I will have another fake tooth in there before long, but right now, toothless wonder right here. How are we doing, folks, other than that?
We're doing great.
We're all just doing our best.
Hey, we have a full set, baby. We got a full set of teeth. Let's go. Katie and I, we're rocking all 64. How many teeth do you have? 32?
I definitely don't think. I was going to say, we don't have 64 teeth. I don't think I have 32 teeth.
There's 32 teams in the NFL.
I thought it was 32 teeth per mouth.
Let me get back to you. I don't have 32
Yeah, let me get back to you on that one. Don't quote me on that.
Sean Barie, DDS, one of the three hosts of the Gridiron Podcast. This week, our main topic as we continue and get near the finish line of our training camp preview series is the AFC South. So without further ado, why don't we just get right into it, folks? Let's start previewing this division that, well, quite frankly, doesn't inspire a whole lot of excitement unless you're a fan of one of those teams. General feelings about this division off the top. Do we have any?
Meh. It's a division. To quote Katie, a time was had.
Yeah, this one I feel like I don't like a lot of my analysis when I think about this is just very vibes based because I don't know what's going to happen. I'm not particularly inspired by this division. I wish it could be relegated, but hey, we'll see 2 rookie quarterbacks, 2 new coaches. We will see some football games.
They will play football. That is for sure. They will play professional football in the division known as the AFC South, where there are teams in Tennessee, Indianapolis, Jacksonville, and Houston. Where are we starting, Sean? And would you like to remind the listeners of how we do our preview?
Every
Pipe
week when we do this,
Sportsbook.
we head and open up the Pipe Sportsbook. Just for a reminder, we do not bet on these games. Nick cannot bet. It's just a phrase we came up with because I just make up win totals as we go along. And my nickname is Pipes at my job at Fox 13.
And my nickname on the Around the NFL podcast is The Pipe. So it's
it works. There. So we head into the Pipe Sportsbook, where we're, you know what? Let's just start off with the team that's favored to win. That's how we've been kind of doing this, which I guess is the Jacksonville Jaguars.
Mhm.
Yeah. We'll go down to. Anyone want to say it?
Jacksonville.
Duval.
There we go. Thank you. I'm not a fan. I have a gripe with Jags fans because they're Jags. They're a whole bunch of Jags. Yeah, they're just always mean to me because their team is worthless and useless and never does anything productive. So when I call them out on that, they're like, "Oh, we have the biggest fan base in the NFL."
Why,
no, you don't.
The fans in London too. Like, I mean,
yeah, exactly. Your team is going to be in London in 5 years' time. So relax.
I could never imagine why they don't like you. They're worthless.
I know. I don't know.
Yeah,
I'm so nice to them. What is like? I don't understand, man. I don't understand. Anyway, this pitiful franchise starts off the season on the road at Indianapolis for Week 1. Then has, oh my God, how many home games do you have in a row? Well, 2 of them. How many international games do they have? 2?
They have 2 back-to-back. Yeah.
Back-to-back? Oh, God. Okay. So starting off at Indy, Week 1. Week 2, at home against Kansas City, then at home against Houston. Then they hit the road for – anyone want to tell me where they are? I don't know where they are. It doesn't say on ESPN.com. London for both of them?
Yep.
Oh, my God. Yeah. Like I said, they're going to be in London in 5 years' time, even though they're getting a new stadium. Or stadium upgrade. Those 2 London games will be against Atlanta and Buffalo, weeks 4 and 5. Week 6, back at home against Indy. Then on the road against New Orleans and Pittsburgh before their Week 9 bye week. Back home for San Fran in Tennessee. On the road against Houston, Week 12. Weeks 13, 14 at home against Cincy. On the road against the Browns. Week 15 at home against Baltimore. Then it's the Bucs on the road in Week 16. Week 17 back at home against Carolina and rounding out the season. Week 18 on the road in Nash Vegas. I will set the over-under. They finished 9-8 last year, won the division, won a playoff game too in a come-from-behind fashion. A lot of people are high on this team. You add Calvin Ridley, who they got last year, who, of course, was suspended for the full season. They won 9 last year. Let's set the over-under because they did, I think, get a little bit better. How much? We'll see. And there's a lot of hype around them. I'll set the over-under at 10.5, guys. What do you think?
Katie, go ahead.
I have the under. I have them at 10-7. I still don't really know with this team and this division. When I look at their schedule, I think it looks pretty favorable. It's a fairly easy division this year. They're playing a rookie quarterback for 4 of those games. They get the Bills when they have already been waiting out the week in London, which is beneficial if you have to play the Bills. I think it's their division to lose. It's nice that they have some continuity through the offseason with Doug Peterson this time. You brought up Calvin Ridley. I'm super excited to see him with Trevor Lawrence. I actually like their receiver room with Zay Jones and Christian Kirk.
Yeah.
But there's always a but. I don't love their defense. They lost some guys on their defensive line. Their secondary doesn't get me excited at all. I do worry about their O-line. They lost their best offensive lineman in Juwan Taylor. Cam Robinson, is it 4 games? He's out with a PED suspension, I think.
Mr. NFL.
But yeah, they're going to want to protect Trevor Lawrence. I'm worried that they're going to be able to do that. One small note, though. I'm very excited that the rest of the world got to meet our guy, British Columbia's own Nathan Rourke.
Yeah, some action, baby.
Yeah, a little bit of action.
About the action.
Some of us knew. Some of us have seen this before. And man, I'm so happy he did that on that stage.
We have seen it before. You know, we had to watch him beat up on Kent State for a couple of years. I was so upset because among all the rookies that were like, this is how the rookies played out in week 1 of the preseason. And I'm like, yo, what about Nathan Rourke? And totally forgot, like, oh, he has actually played preseason football before. He is not technically a rookie. The question I have for you, Katie, though, is you said it's beneficial for the Jags to be staying in London an extra week. They'll already be established. They'll already be there. Is it though? Like you spend a week eating mushy peas and beans on toast and sitting in the fog and the rain.
Slander their
like,
food,
is that
yes.
necessarily a good thing? Like,
so you're
come
slandering
on.
the people of London and the people of Jacksonville today.
No
and
one
you
is
want
safe from
Jacksons
pipes.
to like you. Get out of here. I think it is beneficial because the Bills are going to be coming in way later and there's jet lag and the Jags are used to playing in London. Sometimes my Western Canadian comes out. Sorry about that.
All right.
I
so
do think it is beneficial, though. If you have to play the Bills, I think that sets you up a little better than if it were to just be in Jacksonville.
All right. So you're taking the under. You have them at 10-7. Nick, what do you got them at?
They won 9 games last year. I feel like they should take another step because a lot of what went well for them last year is intact. Trevor Lawrence made a huge jump from year 1 to year 2. Oddly enough, getting rid of Urban Meyer does help you in your development. And they're playing in a division that should be theirs for the taking. Let's say they win 4 of their 6 division games. That's 4 right there. Let's say you get a win over Atlanta. Maybe you score one over, well, the rest of Tampa, Carolina. There's 3 more. You got to beat one of the AFC North teams that you're playing between Cincinnati and Cleveland.
Or Pittsburgh.
I'm having a hard time.
I'm having a hard time. Yeah, so I'm having a hard
Baltimore,
time.
they play the entire AFC North. I didn't even realize that.
This whole division I have a hard time with.
Yeah.
10.5 is a good line, Sean. I honestly, I often trash you for your bland, safe lines that you choose over at the Pipe Sportsbook. But I'll tell you what, the Pipe Sportsbook is making a comeback today, right now with this opening line. 10.5 is a competitive line, and I am also going to take the under. I could see them winning 10 games, maybe 9. I don't see them winning 11 games. And I think you win 10 games, that's going to be A, enough to win the division, so you're going to get in the playoffs, and B, enough to make teams take you seriously. Now, the way they won that playoff game last year was, of course, memorable. It showed a lot of fight in them. It showed that Doug Peterson's efforts are paying off there. But I don't see that as 11, 12 wins, okay? And that's fine. I think 10 wins, 9 wins again in a playoff berth is still a step forward, provided Trevor Lawrence continues to get better. He really came on strong in the second half of the season last year. So I feel pretty confident in them winning this division. I don't think they're going to run into a ton of resistance from the rest of the division. They're the best team on paper to me in the division. So we're going to go with that number. We're going to go with the under, and it's not a disrespectful under. It's just that I don't think, based on their schedule, that they're quite good enough to win 11 or 12 games.
I was just running through. By the way, Nick, thanks for trashing my my sports book. Is your favorite movie How to Train Your Dragon? Toothless?
He's got jokes. Sean spent all last night. As soon as I texted you guys that, I broke a tooth off my fake tooth retainer.
Just started writing them down the notes.
He's just sitting there with a yellow legal pad, just writing joke after joke. He wakes up in the middle of the night, scribbles another one. I'm just going to be in the line of fire this entire episode.
What's the over-under on the amount of tooth jokes from Sean?
4.5.
4.5. I think we've already gotten 2.
Yeah.
Anyway, so going back to the Jags, whole bunch of Jags. They won the division last year, 9-8. As I'm going through their schedule, I definitely can see 10 wins, not 11. So I'm taking the under no matter what. But here's the thing. I had them sweeping the AFC South, sweeping the division, completely forgetting that when it comes to somehow playing the Indianapolis Colts, they always find a way to choke. How long has it been since they beat the Colts, I think, in Jacksonville? It's been forever. So with that being said, I'm going to take the under. And I've got them right at 9-8 again, winning the division and getting to host a playoff game. 9-8 ain't bad if you're in a terrible division. 9 games, 8 games can probably win you this division because it is that bad. This is the new NFC South. It's just the AFC South. So I'm going under as well. Moving right along, let's go to the team that finished in second place last year, Tennessee Titans. So we're all taking the under on the Jags, by the way, if everyone is penciling that in at home.
For those keeping track at home.
I should be keeping track. I'll go back and do that eventually. So the Titans, I will eventually. God.
The shade today.
Calm down, Shorzy. Calm down, Shorzy. That's 3.
You want me to take them both out? You want me to take the other one out?
He would do that at college parties too. It was the best.
This is why you want to watch on YouTube or Twitch.
This is
Get
my
it-
party
This
trick.
content right here, folks.
Get enough natty ice in us, and Nick would take his teeth out, and I would sing "Drop It Low" by Esther Dean.
Oh, will you do
Prove
that?
it.
No.
Do it
no.
with the voice. Come on.
I am only having one beer right now. It's Ghost by Prison Brewing out of Doral, Florida. Anyway, to the Titans we go. Week 1 on the road against the Saints. Week 2, they are also they're at home against the Chargers. Back on the road for Cleveland. Week 3, Week 4 at home against Cincinnati. Again, they're just continuing this on the road at home, Week 5 on the road in Indy. Then Week 6 playing Baltimore overseas for a 9:30 kickoff. Kind of sets up well for them because Week 7 is their bye week. Week 8 at home against Atlanta, on the road at Pittsburgh, on the road at Tampa, on the road at Jacksonville for weeks 9 through 11. Back home against Carolina and Indy. Back on the road against Miami for Week 14. Houston at home Week 15. Seattle at home Week 16. Houston twice in 3 weeks on the road for Week 17, and then wrapping things up at home against the Jags, where things at that point probably won't matter anymore for this division. Might have some seeding implications. But man, Houston, they got a lot better via the draft. But I don't know how much that's going to translate to wins on the field now. I don't know what CJ Stroud is going to give you his rookie year. He certainly didn't look all that great his first preseason game. He was kind of running for his life out there. They won 4 games last year. I'll give them 4.5. Do you think they're going to win one more game than they did last year? There's the question. Where are the wins on this calendar? I'm so sorry. I thought that. Whoa, hold on.
I was just going to say, I feel like I'm taking crazy pills right now because I thought we were doing the Titans, and then are we talking about the Texans?
Oh my God. What is the ABV on this?
Apparently 15%.
Whoa.
At
sorry
one
about
point now,
that,
I was
everyone.
doing some social media posting and reposting. So I was
So,
a little unplugged
here's the
for a
thing.
second,
Here's the
and then I
thing.
come back, and that's why I got
I-
rid of the lower third, because I'm like, wait, he's talking about CJ Stroud now?
No,
What
no,
did we pivot?
So I read the entire Tennessee Titans schedule. And then after week 18 was like, yeah, I'm talking about Houston, right? No,
Oh
I just
my
got myself thinking about
God.
Houston because they play them week 18. Okay,
We're all
so
just doing our
Titans-
best.
Titans.
So
I mean,
we're
this is where we
talking
would
about
stop
the
down and
Titans.
resume.
They won
Jeez.
7 games last year. They added another rookie quarterback in the draft. So now they have Malik Willis. Now they have Will Levis. They've still got Ryan Tannehill. They've still got no one to throw to. And I just, again, 7 wins last year. I don't know if they got really any better through the offseason. So I'm going to go with 6.5.
Well,
Wow.
now that we can actually participate in this without being,
Just
Very
edit all of that
confused.
out, please.
I
It's been a
would,
day,
but,
man. It's been a
I
day.
mean, we're doing this live, Sean. You know, that's how it is, and you do live production in general, and you doing live TV. You know how it goes. They won 7 games last year. What was the line you said?
6.5.
6.5. Oh, Katie, would you like to lead off?
I'm going over.
All right. There
I
we go.
waffled between 9 and 8 and 8 and 9.
You waffle?
That's a thing?
Yeah.
That's a term?
Oh.
Yeah.
I'm guilty for getting last season. This team, especially their defense, was super banged up, and they're getting a lot of their key pieces back. When I look at this roster, if they were to have a different coaching staff, I wouldn't be so high on them. Mike Vrabel, much like we've talked about Bill Belichick, he finds ways to win. He's able to get more out of his guys than he has any right to do. And they'll always be a really, really physically tough team to play. Every year we ask the same question, will this be the year that Derrick Henry takes a step back? I still think he has a lot in the tank. One year, maybe it will dip. We keep saying that every year. They have a legitimate number 1 wide receiver in DeAndre Hopkins. I don't think they'll win the division. I think they could sneaky be in the mix.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
But
Oh.
This division I struggled with the most because I could also see them winning 5 games going, yeah, that checks out. I've said it before, the Titans are just a bit forgettable to me.
Oh, yeah. Without a doubt.
And I lived in Nashville.
Yeah, primarily because their quarterback situation isn't exactly inspiring a lot of confidence or excitement. Now, that's not a knock on Ryan Tannehill. It's just at this point we know who he is. Going back to that divisional round loss to the Bengals 2 years ago, that basically cemented his reputation going forward. Not to mention the injury issues that he struggled with last year, the overall dysfunction at the position, going from Malik Willis, who was clearly not ready to play in the game, to Josh Dobbs, who was signed off the Browns practice squad and thrown into key games late in the season, they fell apart for multiple reasons. It was injuries. It was kind of a lack of talent, and sticking the finger in the dam and eventually realizing that the water pressure is too great and it's going to, blast your finger out of there and you're just going to drown. That's basically who they were last year. And I don't really see them being any different than that this year, except that they're healthier at this point in the season. You talk about Derrick Henry and is this the year that he takes a step back? He's getting real close to that 30-year-old mark. And yeah. I know he's got a ton of miles on that odometer. Okay. He's defied expectations to this point, returning to form last year as a heavy, a carrier of a heavy load for this team. They're going to need him even more this year, I think. Now, the addition of DeAndre Hopkins is great for them. It addresses an area of significant need, but I don't think it's going to be enough. Much like Julio Jones wasn't really much for them. He wasn't enough for them. He's going to be better than Julio, but it's not enough to cover up for all this stuff. So I think a lot of the load is, again, going to end up on the shoulders of Derrick Henry. We're going to continue to watch the quarterback position because as soon as Tannehill runs into some struggles, which he undoubtedly will, you're going to hear people calling for Malik Willis or Will Levis, whoever they decide is the QB2. There's going to be instability. The one saving grace, like Katie said, is the fact that Mike Vrabel is the coach. You got to remember last year they lost their offensive coordinator because he got a DUI in season and they took a nosedive after that. I think that they'll be better than we expect. But you said 6.5, Sean?
Yeah.
What do we expect from the Titans? 5 wins? 6 wins? I don't know. 6.5 is another great line. It's causing me a lot of internal conflict right now because I can see them winning 7 games solely on the strength of Derrick Henry, a sneaky, encouraging defense because the back end is still very strong, and you have Jeff Simmons up front, and he's a terror. But I just don't like this team enough. I don't think they're going to be very good. So let's go under at 6 on this side from over here and keep an eye on that quarterback position. Not that Ryan Tannehill is going to play his way out of a job, but this team's at a clear crossroads. Derrick Henry's not getting any younger. He's their best player on offense. They don't have a lot else to be excited about. Maybe Treylon Burks takes the next step. I just don't feel very confident in them. So I can see them winning 6 or 7 games, but I'm going to go with the under.
I am also going to agree with you. I'm going to take the under. I've got them at 6 wins, but I think this will be a competitive team for all the reasons you said. With the signing of DeAndre Hopkins, I just remember when I found out about it, all I could think in my head was that Ryan Reynolds scene from Harold and Kumar Go to White Castle, where he pulls down his surgical mask and just says, "But why? But why?" Like DeAndre Hopkins said he wanted to go to a Super Bowl contender. He wanted to win a ring, and he chooses Tennessee. But why? Like, does he know something we don't, or that anyone else doesn't know? I don't think so. I do think Mike Vrabel is one of the best head coaches in the NFL, but that only gets you so far. And along with like a lack of talent, it's going to be a rough season. Again, this is the AFC South. We're expecting that. They know that they can be in the fight just because they are an average team, but I'm struggling to see 7 surefire wins on this schedule this year. So I'll go the under. I got them at 6-11.
Quick chime in here from those watching on Twitch and on YouTube. A good friend of ours, Sean, Mr. Coley, has chimed in, and he says,
"What's up? Oh, please.
What's the over-under? Sean gets a 3rd piece of art on his wall."
Under.
He followed with, "Is Sean's amount of wall art meant to match Kenny Pickett's wins this season?"
You know what, Austin? I haven't put the belt in the packaging yet. I don't have to send it to your dad. Keep talking. I'll send it in ribbons. That being our fantasy football belt, which I do have to get to Mr. Coley here sometime soon. It's just I keep forgetting.
Sean treats the fantasy football belt like his most prized possession. I imagine Sean goes to dinner wearing the belt, much like Super Bowl winners will break out their Super Bowl rings from time to time. It's just the way that he conducts himself with this belt that he has rightfully earned, not once, but twice. But he'll definitely let you know that he's got it. He'll definitely let you know that it's in his possession. All right, next team.
All right, next team. Let's head on over to now. Let's go to Houston. How about that? We'll go to Houston now.
I feel like I was just there.
Right. All right. So let me just make sure I'm on the right page here. I am. Week 1 on the road at Baltimore, then back home against Indy, on the road against Jacksonville, at home against Pittsburgh, on the road against Atlanta, at home against New Orleans. Bye week 7, starting off week 8 on the road at Carolina. And then, well, they play all 4 NFC South teams consecutively. Atlanta week 5, New Orleans week 6, Carolina week 8, Tampa Bay week 9. Then on the road against Cincy week 10, Arizona, Jacksonville, Denver, all at home weeks 11 through 13. Week 14 on the road against the Jets, and then on the road also week 15 against Tennessee, back at home against Cleveland and the Titans for week 16 and 17, and then wrapping up the season against Indy week 18. This was a team that won 4 games last year. And as I mentioned when I was talking about the Titans and thought I was talking about Houston, they did get better through the draft. CJ Stroud didn't look all that great in his first preseason game, but I mean, he's already been named the starter. It's going to happen. I don't know if I see more than 4 wins again. Like, they play the AFC North. They still got to worry about Jacksonville. Tennessee is definitely better than this team. They've got the Jets on there. And they've got, I mean...
The NFL's weird though, man. Weird things happen.
I don't want to shortchange them. I don't want to lowball them just because they only won 4 games last year. But all right, let's see. 1. Let's go 4.5. I'll give them the benefit of the doubt. Let's go 4.5. Because either they're going to do better than they did last year or they're going to do worse.
I'm pretty sure that's the line that you gave us the first time.
Did I?
You
Funny how that worked
But
out.
I love that it was
How
this
many
big of a
beers, Sean?
decision.
How many beers?
Nick, they're 15%. Give them a break.
Tan.
Tan is
A
getting
freaking
like
tan.
monstered right now.
Guys, we're doing great. We're doing
All right,
great
Katie.
today.
You're
Lead
looking
it
great,
off.
honey.
I have the over. I have 5 and 12.
Okay.
A lot is going to depend on how well and how quickly CJ Stroud settles in. There are a few pieces I like. I like their offensive line. Don't mind their secondary. But like I spoke about after the draft, I still feel like they have quite a few holes on that team. They're heading in the right direction. I think they could be a little feistier than last year. The division sucks, as we've talked about.
They
see
were
them making
feisty last year. Like
They
they
were.
they would punch above their weight occasionally.
They would, and that's where I love D'Amico Ryans maybe winning them a game. I'm so excited about that hiring. I'm such a big fan of him. I know he doesn't have the same pieces as he did in San Francisco, but I don't know with this team. The Texans are also deeply forgettable to me. But yeah, a 5 and 12, I guess. There are teams that they play tough. Sometimes they play the Titans tough. They've played the Jags tough. You know, one of those unexpected ones can go their way.
The Gridiron Pod, episode 12, deeply forgettable. I would agree with you, Katie. I like the 5-win mark for them, and the reason is they may be the most intriguing team in the division. I say that because the Texans have been referred to in recent years by their own players as a place considered to be a scum bucket, a place where guys who have maybe one more shot in the league all sign to stay in the NFL. That is not the case with these Texans anymore. They made signings of significance for the first time really since the Bill O'Brien era this offseason. They added Robert Woods. They got tight end Dalton Schultz. They added some players on the defensive side of the ball that raise an eyebrow. Sheldon Rankins being one. You just get Jimmy Ward at safety, I think was a big addition for them. Play him alongside Jalen Petrie. Suddenly you got a nice little safety tandem there. And you have some veteran presences there on both sides of the ball. Denzel Perryman, Desmond King, add Ward, some guys like that will help you win more games. You add in D'Amico Ryans. If he's as good of a defensive coordinator as he was in San Francisco, that should help you stay in games. And if CJ Stroud can get comfortable enough and use his greatest asset, which is his accuracy, and then maybe even use his legs for the first time in his career, they'll probably win a couple more games. 5 wins is not a high bar, considering you won 3 last year, including 2 of your final 3 with Davis Mills as your quarterback. Now, did they deserve to win the last game? Probably not. Did the Colts screw it up? Yeah. Did it cost the Texans Bryce Young? Yeah. But you know what? I think Stroud will be just fine for them. Dameon Pierce is a guy who's really exciting to watch. He's young. John Mechie's going to get his first look at, playing after sitting out last year with leukemia.
Mm-hmm.
There's a lot to like here. And one guy I've been hyping up since the combine. He was my favorite receiver in the group, and he's on this team, and you better keep an eye on him, folks. Tank Dell. Little guy nicknamed Tank. What more do I need to say? I'm going to say more. This guy is going to make people miss after the catch. He runs crisp routes. He's like a water bug. At the top of his route stem, he can go in any direction. He's got pretty good hands, too. I think he's going to make an impact that folks are not expecting. So you pair that with CJ Stroud, an offense that I think is going to be better than some people might think. 5 wins is pretty attainable. So I like that. I like the over there.
Well, not to be boring, but I'm going to go with you too, because I got 6 wins. I think that they're going to improve a little bit. I like all the moves they made in the offseason. And I don't want to judge CJ Stroud off of one, rough, not even a full game of football that we've seen him play in the NFL. Because that's not going to define him. And he was actually, if you remember, my favorite quarterback coming out of college. I think you said the same thing, Nick. Like he impressed you a lot. So I want to give him the benefit of the doubt because, I feel bad for him at the same time because, like Katie said, these guys are pretty unmemorable. The Texans, they do kind of feel like this. What was it? The scum bucket? They do kind of feel like the scum bucket.
Not to be confused with Plankton's chum bucket from.
I did want to say the chum bucket. They could be the chum bucket. But I feel like at the same time, and you'll like this is a team that they're going to, bring their pail for lunch to work, and they're going to scrap for every win. And they were a scrappy team last year. And I don't know, the NFL is better when teams in Texas are doing well, just because it pisses off Cowboys fans anyway. So give me the over. I got them at 6 wins because I don't think this will be the last place team in the AFC South.
Do we ever use the term pail in anything other than beach terms or lunch pail?
Yeah, when you talk about like Nick, you're looking pale. Are you okay?
That's a different pail. I'm toothless, and I just got to make fun of my complexion.
That pales in comparison.
There we go. All different terms, all different usages. But I guess that's what I deserve for asking an outlandish question like that. All right, that wraps up the AFC South.
No, we didn't do the Colts.
Well, we could wrap up the AFC South without the Colts.
And that mess up wasn't even me this time.
Jokes.
We're all just doing our best, folks.
That basically does wrap up the AFC South, though. Because let's be honest, do we think the Colts are going to do anything this year?
The only intrigue here, Sean, is their quarterback, Anthony Richardson, who could be in my opinion, a Hall of Fame talent, but needs to clean up his fundamentals and some of his footwork. And if he does that and adjusts to the speed of the game, then maybe they're the biggest surprise of the division, if not the AFC at large, and maybe battle for the division, but we don't know.
Okay, well, that completely undermined everything I was going to say, but sure, let's go with the Colts. Starting off week 1 at home against Jacksonville, week 2 on the road against Houston, then on the road against Baltimore, back home against the Rams and Titans, on the road for week 6 against the Jags, week 7 and 8 at home against Cleveland and New Orleans, week 9 on the road at Carolina, week 10, they are overseas, taking on the Patriots. That bleeds into their week 11 bye week. Week 12, Tampa Bay is visiting Indy. And then weeks 13 and 14 on the road at Tennessee and Cincy. Back home for a game against the Steelers. Week 15 on the road. Week 16 in Atlanta. Week 17 against Vegas. And week 18 against Houston at home. Both of those games. They won 4 games last year, folks. What do we think? What do we think?
You're the sports book.
Are they going to win more than 4 games? I don't know. Because I feel like Nick, for some reason, believes in Anthony Richardson, I will say 5.5. 5.5. I'll set the line at 5.5.
Why would you? Look, we're not shifting lines here, live lines, okay? But whatever. All right, fine, sure. Katie, go ahead.
I have 6 and 11. Obviously, so much of it, like CJ Stroud, is dependent on Anthony Richardson, how quickly he can get up to speed. From what I've seen, you can absolutely see his ceiling, but there will be some growing pains. He's definitely going to have his ups and downs like he already has. I'm excited about Shane Steichen. Overall, I'm not too inspired by that team, and obviously a lot of it has to do with Jonathan Taylor as well. Nobody knows what's going on with that. Their defense is average. The framework of a somewhat okay offense is there, obviously with a few gaps. I don't love the offensive line anymore. Don't really know who's going to rush the passer. Concerns at corner, losing Stephon Gilmore. if I'm a Colts fan, I just want a bit more stability. Like, look at the Jeff Saturday experiment and the Matt Ryan experiment, and it just feels like it's been pure chaos again and again. Like Teresa Walker, the queen of Nashville, tweeted this: the Colts have a 7th different starter on opening day for a 7th straight season. That's wild.
I believe that's what we call a revolving door.
Exactly. And someone needs to come get their man Jim. You don't have to say everything you think, and you don't have to tweet everything you think in your head.
Yeah.
Somebody come get your man.
It's been a rough month for him when it comes to dealing with his PR office. Talk about a contract negotiation that hadn't really started but was kept under wraps, suddenly being right there out front and center. They have botched the Jonathan Taylor
different places.
Well, hey, look, those are 2 independent things. He's helping out the wildlife. PETA is a big fan of Jim Irsay, but as it pertains to his football team, not the best month for him when it comes to keeping things in-house. The Jonathan Taylor situation, as you mentioned, is strange. It's borderline toxic. It's not getting any better. They've had a revolving door at quarterback, as you also mentioned, a lack of stability overall. They've been getting by with a defense that has outplayed its talent in the last few years. Guys like Stephon Gilmore helped. Kenny Moore has also had a couple of really good seasons. This is the year, in my opinion, that they take a step back. Now, if they get a full season from Shaq Leonard, that should help because he was hurt for the majority of last year. And you have DeForest Buckner up front, but a lot of holes otherwise in this defense that I just don't feel so confident in. And offensively, they still don't have receivers. Like the last 2 years, they're like, yeah, we're going to draft Alec Pierce and Michael Pittman's our number 1. And we're just going to go from there. And now we have Isaiah McKenzie. I know, but the thing is like fantasy players like him, but do you really like him as a number 1? Cause he's their number 1. And he's a great number 2. I don't think he's a great number 1. And it hurts their offense especially if you don't know if you're going to have Jonathan Taylor there or not. I mean, you could be dealing with a serious lack of depth at running back, and they've tried to patch those holes with Zach Moss and Kenyon Drake and, so on. And so even Jake Funk, a favorite of Good Morning Football, Jake Funk, but like, you don't have Taylor, it's going to hurt you just like it did last year. So I struggle to be confident in this team, but like you said, Katie, Shane Steichen did wonders with Jalen Hurts in Philadelphia. If he could do something similar with Anthony Richardson, get over that. I think you can get over that line. What was that, 5.5? Is that what you had it at? 5.5?
I had 5.5, yeah.
Let me get on board with the Katie train, and we're going with 6 wins as well. It's going to be a season that people will watch in Indianapolis, for better or worse.
You really made me believe in that, Nick. I think both of you are wrong. I think this is the worst team possibly in the entire AFC. I don't think Anthony Richardson is it. I don't. I was clear about that when we were talking about the draft breakdown. I said, if this is a guy that needs to sit behind someone and learn how to play at the NFL level, because he can throw the ball a country mile, but he can't hit a receiver 10 yards down the field wide open. I watched this kid at Florida. He was so hot and cold, and believe me, before I did this show, before I said these words, I did a little bit of research, looked at, how has he been performing at training camp? Same thing. People have been saying he is so hot and cold. He has these amazing plays, and then he can't do the simplest, passing drill. Or I don't know. It's just, it's exactly what I thought it was going to be. Can he change that? Sure, because Nick, like you said, he has all the talent in the world. He just has to figure out how to focus that and use that. They've already named him the week 1 starter. I think that was a huge mistake. I'm wondering if Jim Irsay had a say in that as well. So I think this season's headed for disaster. I think they'll be in the running for the number 1 overall pick. That doesn't mean they're going to get rid of Anthony Richardson. As we saw the Bears, they believe in Justin Fields, and they traded away the number 1 pick this year, rightfully so. So we'll see what happens. But, man, I've got them at like 4 wins right again, and I think they'll be in line for that number 1 overall pick. I don't believe in the Colts. I don't believe in them.
Oh.
All right. Well, you know what? That's fine. We can clip this and save it and go back and look at it.
And
later,
that's fine. If I'm wrong, I'll own up to it, but I just don't see it, man. I was very clear from the get-go about Anthony Richardson. I don't see it.
You know what I don't see?
A tooth. And there's 4, folks.
That's on me. I did that.
Oh, I thought it was just overall.
Yeah, okay, we can do that. Yeah, I can take shots at myself. I can count the over-under. All right, now that officially wraps up the AFC South preview for real this time. All jokes aside, which means it's time for everybody's favorite podcast segment. No matter if you listen to comedy, sports, I don't know,
pop culture,
true crime.
whatever.
Sure,
It's
yeah. True crime,
everyone's
that was the other one.
favorite game. Guys, do you want to say it? You want to say it?
What's it called?
Do you
Do
even
you
know?
even know?
And today, Katie is in the crosshairs of Do you even know?
How do I unsubscribe from this game?
Exactly.
Our
If you
topic-
didn't know, if you forgot, this is where Nick and I gang up on Katie and ask her quiz questions on a topic she knows nothing about until we tell her. Nick, what's the topic?
The topic is sports movies, and Big B, one of our most loyal listeners and viewers, he loves this segment. And he said Katie only knows bocce ball. It's
But
bocce.
man, do I know
Big B.
it. Big B, if you're a regular listener, you should know that it's called bocce and not bocce ball. Bocce ball
Come on now.
is the ball itself.
Yes, thank you, Katie, for clarifying. Maybe eventually he'll get it down. Will you get down these sports movie quotes? That's the big question. And Sean is leading it off with our first question in Do you even know?
Do
This
you
is gonna
even
be so
know?
embarrassing. I can already feel it. I don't know.
Katie, in the
sports movies.
1992 movie The Sandlot, Smalls gets in a lot of trouble when he hits a Babe Ruth autographed baseball over the fence into the lair of a dog known as the Beast, leading to the climax of the movie where Benny the Jet Rodriguez has to pickle the Beast. Afterwards, they find out that the Beast is actually a really nice dog. Katie, do you even know what's the Beast's real name? The name of the dog, it wasn't the Beast. He had a name.
Oh,
And
see,
James Earl Jones said it.
this is one that as soon as you said Sandlot, I'm like, let's go. Okay. Because if you said the name of the dog, I would have said the Beast. I forgot that it.
He has a real name.
Fido. I don't actually know.
You want to just give a guess?
Fido. That was my guess.
You want to go Fido? Okay. No, his name is Hercules.
I never would have got that.
Really? It's at the
Story of me playing this game. I'm like 0 for 75. I hate this. This is my least favorite
You're
game.
just in a slump. You're just in a slump. It's okay.
All right. Katie, question number 2. In the beloved baseball film Major League, Brewers broadcaster Bob Uecker delivers the famous line, "That's all we got? One goddamn hit?" And of course, Monty, his color commentator of sorts, very quiet, says,
say goddamn on the radio.
he says, "Don't worry, nobody is listening anyway." Katie, what was the fictional name of the character portrayed by Bob Uecker?
I have no idea. I don't think I've ever seen that movie.
Oh, you're missing out.
Whoa. Hold
Wow.
on.
I know. See, let's all roast Katie. As soon as the lower third came up that says sports
Whoa.
movies, that's why I said, how do I unsubscribe from this game?
That
Because
is
I
like,
knew that I would go 0 for
that
3
might be
and
my
everybody could
favorite
make fun
sports
of
movie
me.
of all
Well,
time.
luckily now, as a middle-aged adult, I have the opportunity to watch it for the first time, and what a gift. I'm so joyful for myself about that.
We're glad to present it to you with a bow and all. Katie, do you even know the answer to this question is Harry Doyle?
Hello, folks. Harry Doyle here, and you Wahoo fans, or whatever he
The
says.
fans of the feather. All right,
Oh,
Sean.
okay.
Number 3.
If I go
All
0 for
right.
3, we have to cut this out of the pod. I can't go 0 for 3 again, you guys.
You know, Katie. I think you're gonna get this one. I hope you get this one. And let's keep with the baseball theme. So, in the movie,
It's my least
what?
favorite sport.
Well, we're gonna stay with it because this is what I had in the movie. Angels in the Outfield, the Disney one, not the original one. Christopher Lloyd portrays an angel. What was his name?
No, we're just doing names.
Yeah.
I don't remember. I haven't seen that movie since I was like 1.
It's like he literally it's on his hat. It's on his freaking hat. It's the name of a league in baseball. Like there's only 2 of them. Pick. Just his name is Al. A-L. He's wearing a hat that says A-L. His name's Al.
Like, what's the question right now? What's his name?
Yeah, you already missed it. You already gave me the answer.
His
Do you
name's
even
Al.
know?
Oh, you chance to try.
Well, yeah. Counts 0 for 3. Fail horn goes here.
Man, this is my least favorite game. We're cutting this segment.
And that wraps up another rousing and fruitless edition of
Even
Now. All right, well, it's time to shift gears to Formula One, where nothing has happened. And the reason for that is they are on summer break. Now, the beauty of summer break, as a child will tell you, is the freedom of not having to be anywhere, of being able to choose to do whatever you want with your day. Perhaps enjoy the sun, go on a vacation, or just sit at home and play video games all day. Who knows what it might be? But for our favorite drivers, and even the drivers that we don't like so much, well, let's just say they did it in major, spectacular grandeur.
Well, when I was a kid, I don't remember having millions of dollars at my disposal to go to Mykonos or to Ibiza. So
Yeah,
I feel like F1 drivers kind of differ that way from us.
but you know what, Sean? That $20 that I had in the sock drawer sure felt like $1 million when I was that
Oh
age.
boy, did it. That could buy you a heck ton of bubble gum.
Nah,
A
I'll tell you
heck
what,
ton.
A heck ton.
Oh, gee whiz. I'm going to go buy
Gee
myself a pack of
willikers.
MLB Showdown cards. I'm going to go
It's-
get the draft pack.
It's Jaw. Katie, no? You know
Jaw.
what
No.
movie that is from?
I don't want to talk about it.
Okay.
Just
We're
get
done
me out of
picking-
here.
We're done
Yeah.
picking on Katie.
Get me off the pod.
So yeah, let's just kind of go through. So we're going to show you a slideshow from Instagram of all the drivers on their vacations over summer break. And we're just going to kind of say, hey, looks like they're having a fun time. So here, there's Charles Leclerc wearing a way too tight life vest. It looks like he's doing some paddleboarding or something. That just looks like he's off the coast of Monaco.
In a youth medium life jacket.
Yes. And the caption from Charles is, yes, the life jacket is way too small. That's definitely on a scale of 1 to, thirst trap. How much of a thirst trap is that? Because he's showing the abs, like the
Definitely
lower
an
abs.
8.
Definitely,
Yeah, I was going to
yes.
say 7.5 or an 8.
Yeah, definitely an 8 because he's posing. He's got like it kind of looks like it should be a cologne commercial. Sans the life jacket.
Two things. He's got the watch tan line showing off that I'm rich enough to wear a big watch all the time, even if I'm in the water and not wearing one now. Two, is he a Scientologist? Do you see that little red string on his wrist? Isn't that like a sign of Scientology?
I don't think so. I don't know, but
No, we're going to have to find that out eventually.
Imagine this is how we all found out from this Instagram post.
he's 11, 12 thetan energy stuff or whatever. I don't know. I'm trying to quote Sandlot. Looks like he's having a fun time, but it doesn't look like he's going too far. Like he's in his hometown. He's just relaxing. He's just doing some paddle boarding. I mean, I'm going to give this like a 3 out of 10. Unlike our friend Lewis Hamilton, who is given that shaka bra underwater at looks like, is it a pool or is that like the ocean?
That's just a very clear, nice ocean.
Okay. Well, that's definitely, I don't have that much money. You need to have money to go to see water that clear.
That's a good point.
None of us have it. But by the way, you can sponsor the podcast. We are open for business if you'd like to line our pockets so we can go see an ocean like that.
Yeah, we want
Or
that
just-
clear water money.
Yeah.
Just so we can pay the bills for
Not
the
that
podcast
Gulf
in
Coast
general.
money. Stuck here at St. Pete Beach.
What's
This is
your
not a
rating
thirst
for
trap.
Lewis? Because he's been largely off the grid.
He has.
But
He
I'm
really
also
has.
hearing rumors of a hot summer romance with Shakira. So I
I
love
thought
that
she
for
had a
him.
boyfriend, though.
Oh, baby, when you drive like that, you make a woman go mad.
Underwater with Lewis.
Man, if that is the case for him, I'm giving his an 11 out of 10. If you were off the grid,
I thought
you're
she
with
had,
Shakira.
but she kept coming to his races, and that's what everyone was saying. Like, oh, they might be dating. But then I thought, like, she publicly confirmed she had a boyfriend or something. Although, it's Lewis Hamilton. It's Sir Lewis Hamilton.
I mean,
All the girlies on Raya are going to be not thrilled to hear about Shakira after seeing Lewis on there.
Raya secrets,
Mhm.
fresh from Katie Caldwell's latest experience. Here's Lando Norris jumping off of a yacht with the caption, family time with a heart, which, guys, this is my favorite one. And the reason is I feel like the two things don't align. Unless his family's on that boat. Is that his boat? Did they rent the boat? Like, is he
Well,
family with the fish?
I don't think so. I think he's on vacation with his family, which is nice. It's wholesome. It's his summer break. And I will say, Lando has been the most active on social media after Spa. He has been to Tomorrowland, and he was chilling with Martin Garrix backstage during his set at Tomorrowland. But I think that's wholesome. He's on vacation with his family, and Nick, his family's loaded. I think his dad's worth something like $250 million. So I think that's either a yacht they're renting or their yacht. So I think yeah.
My question is, oh, sorry, go ahead, Nick.
I worry that video playing is going to get us DMCA'd, so that's why it's paused.
Yeah.
My question is, how does Martin Garrix have such a stranglehold on the men of F1? I feel like every single one has a foot, like all the different cliques within. I know, but how is he close with all 20 of them? It feels like.
I don't know. Well, he was so Lando and Max were both backstage during his set at Tomorrowland. So, and I feel
Danny Rick's been there.
I feel like Max would be more of a Tiesto guy because Tiesto's Dutch.
I think he is a Tiesto guy.
Well, he was with Martin Garrix at Tomorrowland.
Danny Rick was there too, and Danny Rick was at Tiesto. I saw.
Huh. All right.
Oh, Martin Garrix and Tiesto were there to celebrate Max's maiden world title.
There we go.
Nice.
Fun fact. There we go. Next in the slideshow. Crazy who you bump into on a holiday. Thanks for the invite, Martin Garrix, as you guys just mentioned.
Now that's not Tomorrowland. I don't know what that one's called. The caption is covering the title of the show. But yeah, so how cool is that? Like, did they go together? Did Danny, Rick, and George go to this show together, or did they just actually bump into each other?
I think it suggests that they just bumped into each other, unless they're being facetious. But can we talk about George Russell's sunglasses here?
Yes.
George
Russell we can.
Is wearing, this is big Banana Republic energy right now. It's big J. Crew energy.
And it's nighttime.
I mean, glasses at night, so I can. Of all the people that you think wouldn't be hanging out together during the summer break, it'd probably be these two, maybe, or Max and Lewis. But I feel like this is just very random. Looks like they're having fun though. It also looks like they're in the general population. Like they're not doing any kind of VIP. Like they're in. I'm
sure they did.
Oh, they had to have.
Yeah.
But, I mean, there's a guy right behind him looking all crazy. I don't think he's supposed to be in the picture, but that is just general. That's GA seating right there for Danny, Rick, George Russell, and the significant others.
If that guy has any clue about F1, he's framing this photo and putting it on his desk in his office. And he's turning it out toward the people that approach his desk so he can bring it up every time they talk.
I also like how they're at a rave and George is literally just wearing like a denim button-down shirt, sunglasses, and a leather-bound watch.
Hey, and I don't know the Woody persona very well of F1.
Mm-hmm. I don't know if that man would frame that and put it on his desk because he looks absolutely ripped in that photo.
Oh yeah, of course he is. He doesn't care. That's part of the whole thing. Is like he's already missing the fact that like you're creeping on a photo. Like he's just got to let everybody know. I was within feet of Daniel Ricciardo and George Russell. All right, now we got everybody's favorite, Carlos Sainz.
Best way to recharge the batteries. And he is just a shirtless man, a very tan, shirtless man with a bucket hat on a yacht in what I'm guessing is the Mediterranean.
What's our thirst trap rating of this?
9 out of 10.
That is a 9.5 because he is holding a towel over his private area. Now, you can see he does have on some swim trunks, but just barely. That is a 9.5 out of 10.
I reserved that last point for the extremely spicy, since he has peppers on his bucket hat. There's the joke. For those not watching on YouTube or Twitch, spiciest of thirst traps, which is
Katie, if you see this picture on Raya, are you swiping right?
That's a personal question.
And next photo.
This one, yeah, absolutely.
Oh, 100%. Yes. Valtteri Bottas just enjoying life in Aspen, Colorado. And you're thinking, why is he in Aspen in the summer? What's there to do in Aspen? Apparently just drink beer. He's just been, going around to different breweries, drinking beer, probably mountain biking with his girlfriend, wearing a cowboy hat. guys, if you roll up to just your local, brew pub, your local brewery, and you just see Valtteri Bottas having a flight in a cowboy hat, I mean, that's going to make your whole day, month, and year, right?
I've driven through Aspen a couple times on my moves out to LA and back, and first off, it's incredible. But if I were to, I just imagine when I saw this, like stopping off, going to a restaurant, and just happening to walk by him right there and being like, that guy looks a lot like Valtteri Bottas, but I'm not sure it is, and I'm not going to say anything. And the mustache is the part that makes me think it's not him.
Sir,
and I would then regret not talking to him.
Can you turn around? Can I just look at your ass for a second? Are you Valtteri Bottas? Yes, you are.
I've seen those cheeks before.
I'd recognize those cheeks anywhere.
Here's my read on Valtteri this summer break. I haven't seen his bare ass on Instagram one time. And I'm not saying I'm disappointed. I'm just really, really surprised. And he's in a place called Aspen. It has it in the name. The Instagram captions are right there, Valtteri. What are we doing?
I bet you he has an entire album in his phone just ready to go, just ready to tweet.
It's labeled in his phone. It's labeled Aspen with 2 S's.
His publicist is probably like, "Hey, we haven't seen any naked pics yet. What's up?" Like, while most publicists are like, "Yo, no naked pics," are like, "Valtteri, what's up, man?"
Hey, we need the content, buddy.
Bare ass in a while.
Like, come on. You're not having a great year. We need yeah. And then, here's Alex Albon. Mi gusta la playa. I don't know what that means. I don't speak Italian or Spanish.
It means I like the beach.
Whatever it is. Is that really what it means?
Mm-hmm. I think. I mean, isn't playa beach?
This is a very unflattering photo taken by what I'm assuming is his girlfriend or
Lily.
whoever he was with. Yeah, I assume Lily was there taking pictures of him just looking at a menu. And I don't know.
And
this doesn't do it for me.
So this one was actually, it was like a photo dump where I don't know why they chose this one, but there were other really funny ones. There was one where Lily was in the water and he was taking the photo from above and she was wearing a thong bikini and he put his hand over her butt.
No,
like the whole post was actually really cute and they did a bunch of cool stuff, but they did pick the most boring one for sure.
Yeah, definitely did. Do we got any more, Nick? Oh, we do. Look at Surferboard Lance doing what he does best, not driving an F1 car.
Risty McGee out there surfing on the wake.
This is look, Lance just needs to retire because his favorite thing in life is surfing, and he looks so happy. Look how at peace he looks. He is a billionaire's son. Okay, just get out of the car, go surf some juicy waves, man. Hang loose.
Do you think he's made enough money at this point in his career that he doesn't even need dad's money anymore?
Probably not. No, because he's probably only made he probably honestly has not even made like 50 million.
Oh, and even enough to live without dad's money.
Even if you have 50 million, you can't buy your father's love.
Oh my god.
Oh my god. Oh, below the belt, folks. Oh my god. Wow. I'm missing one tooth, but you just knocked all the teeth out of Lance Stroll's mouth.
This has been episode 12 of the Gridiron Podcast. We're not going to top that. Good night, folks.
Wow, George Russell going to round it out here.
Oh, and we got one more from George Russell. Of course he's shirtless somewhere on a boat in the middle of the ocean. Memorable couple of weeks. Blue heart feeling the batteries recharged. George, put a shirt on, dude. Just put a shirt on.
Everyone else is allowed to post a thirst trap. Let George live.
Battery recharges are we going to get, by the way?
Are thirst traps. Like when your normal content is thirst traps, when you're on vacation, you got to do something different.
By the
That's
way,
why you on the gram posting thirst traps.
Lance Stroll career earnings a little bit over 19 million. That's definitely enough to live without daddy's money.
Still not enough.
By the way, speaking of George Russell thirst traps, I mean, I feel like we've already seen enough just from one specific video that it's just established that he's always going to be a thirst trapper, and that of course is the most famous one right there. I mean that.
Yes.
If that doesn't say swipe right, I don't know what does.
That is the thirstiest driver intro I think I've ever seen.
Well, except
even with the ones where they slow-mo look up.
Except for Charles look back at it.
That's true.
You're right. That's in the running. There are two I think we should touch on. Esteban wasn't in there, and he posted a gorgeous photo holding hands with Mick Schumacher. That was really big. And Mick soft launched new girlfriend over summer break.
Ooh, and
That
Nick
was
was looking.
He was looking fine. He was looking like a new man. Also, Yuki Tsunoda's has been really funny because I heard in an interview him speak about how he just games for 10 hours a day.
See, someone was doing it.
And so he starts playing Apex Legends at 8:30 and plays until 6:30 and says that he takes a break between 12 and 1 for some snacks.
That is exactly
Every
what I
day.
expected out of him. That's how
exactly what I expected.
Actually, that's a great
love that for
transition.
him.
How would we spend our summer breaks, folks?
Sean?
If I had $19 million and 4 weeks with nothing to do, I feel like I wouldn't stay in one place. I feel like I would travel a lot and I would drink a lot of beer. So I would kind of combine what Valtteri Bottas is doing. Like I would be drinking beer in a cowboy hat whenever I wanted to, but I would also be like traveling around, maybe not the world, but like maybe take a tour around Europe, and I'd hit up the Scandinavian countries, and then I'd go down to like Greece or maybe Italy or something. I would travel and I'd get a little bit of everything. I'd get some hiking in up in like Finland or Sweden, or I'd do some, surfing in the Mediterranean if you can surf there. I don't know. But like, I would get a whole variety of it, and I would really recharge the batteries, and I would just change every couple days. I feel like that's what I would do.
If you ever wonder why Sean and I have been best friends for so long, it's because we think alike in many regards, and this is one of them. I would do a very similar trip. I would start in Germany. I would go Italy. I'd do Greece. Stop off, for a little yacht rental in the water, and then I'd go all the way and visit our friend Giannis in Estonia.
Oh yeah, shout out Giannis.
I'd go to Finland, and then I'd circle back and I'd finish in the south of France with a week-long vacation, more boating, beaching, that type of thing.
Yeah, guys, I'll be honest. Most of what I would get up to cannot be shared here and would not be shared on my Instagram, especially if I had F1 driver money. I don't know what else to really say here. It would involve some variation
in the
of
woods.
Make
boats,
something up.
super expensive food, probably spending time with Martin Garrix out of obligation. Other than that, we'll keep that in the private chat. I would have a good time.
Katie, I know you're Canadian, but in the United States, there's a thing called the Fifth Amendment, and I believe you just pleaded it. Pretty sure.
Yeah, I think I might have. Yeah, I would have a good time if I had that much money.
We'll allow you that. I would also do if it's 4 weeks, those would be my 2.5 weeks, and then I'd spend the rest doing what Yuki Tsunoda did. Just sit at home, play video games, go to the gym, and just play video games.
I would too, but my version of that would be Ocarina of Time on Nintendo 64.
Oh,
that would be my 8:30 to 6:30.
You just won yourself some fans with the older crowd.
Oh man!
All right, that is it for our F1 summer break recap. As you can tell, not a lot going on. I mean, plenty for them. They're having fun. But as for what we can talk about, that's about it. Let's wrap it up here, folks, with the final segment of the day. It is Hate or Love It. Sean, what's your hate?
My hate. Let me see. I didn't have a hate, but I feel like a lot of annoying drivers have been getting in my way lately. But I've used that as an escape before because just bad drivers annoy everybody. How about this? I will say tipping culture. Have I complained about tipping culture before?
You don't
I
work
feel
in the
like we
service industry,
have.
but no.
Well, I'm going back for it because every few weeks I'm reminded of just how much I hate tipping culture now because you are asked to tip for everything and then you just feel so crappy when you don't want to.
And you know they see it.
Yeah, and they see it. It's like I'm ordering, I'm ordering a cup of coffee that's already way too expensive anyway, and now I have to tip you another $2.50. Why? Why do I need to do that? I'll give you $1. Oh, we don't accept cash, sir. Well, then and then I feel like such an asshole for not hitting like 25%. But at some point, it's just it's getting to be annoying. The jokes are on TikTok. You pay someone a compliment and they say actually, and then they hold up their phone and they have that 15, 20, 25%.
We just need you to answer one simple question here.
Exactly. Yeah.
Just gonna ask you a question.
It's just I was reminded last night. I missed dinner because I was at a concert, and by the time I got home, all I could do was Uber Eats something. And Uber Eats was like, remember to give your driver a really good tip. It's raining and they're driving so you can stay dry. I'm like,
What if you just paid your workers a living wage instead?
yeah, I'm just
Imagine
like,
a world like that.
Why do I need to pay your employees more money because it's raining out? Like, it rains. Rain happens. That doesn't affect how I'm going to treat someone.
Rain makes corn.
Now, if someone
makes whiskey.
Now, if it was a
Whiskey
hurricane or
makes
something,
baby.
yeah, I'd
Hey,
tip
little
you the bill.
frisky.
But like, this was just a Big Mac and fries, folks. Relax. Tipping culture. Tipping culture
Rain
is
is
what I
a
hate.
good thing.
This is my favorite podcast we've ever done. No question.
I got no
Wonderful.
tooth. We're just off the handle on everything. I agree, Sean. There's a good YouTube skit or like a TikTok sketch coming out of that I don't think anybody's done yet. Just this stare down where it's like it's gonna ask you a question. You're like doom, doom, you know, that type of thing. All right, Katie, what's your
Add on top of that too, like, would you like to donate $1 to feeding hungry children?
That one gets you.
Oh, so I saw you hit no. Well, would you like to donate $1 to donate to puppies who are homeless? No. Oh, so you hate puppies too, right? Okay, well, have a nice day and go after yourself, sir.
How about seniors? What if we hit this?
$1
There
for the
was-
blind?
Look, there was a South Park episode where Randy kept going to Whole Foods and he did not want to keep tipping every time or, you know, giving the extra $1 to charity every time. So like they made him like take $1. There was a cardboard cutout of like a little girl. He's like, okay, and do me a favor. You need to pull the food out of the little girl's mouth so she doesn't have anything to eat. Go ahead and pull the food out of the mouth to deny the charity.
That's so bad.
It was so funny, but
That's South Park.
Yeah.
All right, Katie, what's your hate?
So we haven't actually talked about the Canadian Bocce Championships since those went down. So my hate this week, it's really embarrassing. It's really shameful, but I'm an accountable woman. So we had the best tournament we'd ever had. I had the best game I'd ever had. It was against some guys I went to high school with that was so upset and so angry, and it felt really, really good because I truly, truly kicked his ass. And we were riding such a high on Saturday night, and then Sunday comes around, and team captain, me, was a shell of a woman on Sunday because I was too irresponsible on Saturday. And I had too great of a time celebrating how good well our team was playing.
Wait. Before you tell your flu game story, we're going solo. Go ahead.
No, take me off of here. Don't make me look at myself. Guys, I didn't even make it. I didn't make it down to the pits. One of us was going to have to sit out anyways because my best friend Giselle, guys, I'm almost choking up talking about this. She was working out of town the first 2 days, so she was going to play Sunday sub in, so one of us was going to have to sub out. I was going to offer to do that anyways, but I didn't even make it down to the pits because I was a shell of a human being and I couldn't even get in the car. So for that, I hate myself only for that one moment. I hate that I let my team down. I hate that I was riding such a high and then the lows feel so much lower when you're falling from that high up. So those were my Canadian Bocce Championships.
That is a legendary fumbling the bag moment if I've ever heard one.
Fumbled the bag as hard as humanly possible.
That's all right. You did your best. Even if your best got you so hungover you couldn't get out of bed.
I'm not proud of this.
We're still proud of you. All right. My hate. Need I say more? I'm missing a tooth. Okay? That's my hate. Sean, what's your love?
I hate that for you.
I love that for you, Nick. That's my love. I love that for you. My love is I went to a concert last night. I got to see The Offspring, Sum 41, and Simple Plan, and yeah, it was awesome because I don't often.
We've lost Sean.
Energy. I love all of that, and I don't know. It was a lot of fun, especially because as I get older, I remember that, you know, pop, punk, rock era more favorably, and I listen to it a lot. So it's kind of good to be in a crowd where it's like everyone there went nuts when Simple Plan played "What's Up, Scooby-Doo." And yeah, it was awesome. So yeah, that's my love. Just kind of reliving the glory days and like, hey, we're all aging millennials now, but we can still rock out to, some emo pop punk.
Sean went to bed dreaming of that time he dyed his hair black in his dorm room in college.
We're gonna need to see photos of that.
No, there's
all
one
on
legendary
Facebook.
photo that
Yeah.
we're gonna show you. Don't worry, we'll show you. All right, Katie, what's your love?
My love. So this is very topical because Toto Wolff. We didn't talk about how he broke his arm on summer break.
Yeah.
He didn't have.
You
not
love
a great
that he
summer
broke his
break for him.
arm?
No.
That's horrible.
It's. I don't love that.
Jesus.
So my love is Giselle, my best friend that I referenced earlier on the bocce team. She lives next door to me. We've been best friends for 25 years. She gifted me her old mountain bike. So I'm in my mountain bike era right now. We've been going out all the time. I live in the Rockies, so it's very intense here. It's very dangerous.
Well, you live in Canada, so you live in the Rock A's? Da-da-da-da.
Good one, Sean. Anyways, yeah, I went over.
Florida man. I am
and she's-
Florida man. I am Florida man. I am Florida man.
It's my different-
I wish I was quicker on the trigger with that.
So I went over. She texted me and said, "Do you want to go for a bike ride?" So I went over, and she has an e-bike and a mountain bike, and she goes, "Look at my new bike!" And I'm, "Oh my gosh, that's so great!" And then her old one, which is not very old, was sitting with a bow on it.
Aw.
It was
Aw.
very
Aw.
sweet. So yeah, we've been going out. All of my girlfriends, when we work hard and we play really hard, we're all avid hikers, bikers. We like to go, and it's fun mountain biking with her and her husband because they can rip, and it's really pushing and challenging me. And I thought I was invincible, and then Toto Wolff broke his arm, and I was like, maybe I should.
No,
the
Katie.
it breaks a little more.
The moment you stop going is the moment you start dying. Keep it going.
This is why we come to the Gridiron Podcast for
You know,
advice
I wanna-
like that.
Real quick, I want to change my hate. Nick, I think a couple weeks ago you said like what your hate was. You hate when people are like, he's him. He is him. It's himmy neutron. I'm tired of people saying, I'm in my blank era. We
Sorry.
get it.
Ugh.
Taylor Swift did a tour. We get it. All right. You're not all in your, red era or 1989 era. But
Yeah, and guess what? None of that plays
God.
with me because I stopped listening to Taylor Swift after her second album. So whatever. I have two more hates, Sean. One of them is that, and the other one is Bridget left to do her last clinical in California and is not going to be back till after Thanksgiving, and that makes me sad. I'm going to go visit her, but I'm alone, and that makes me sad. And my love, I don't know if I've talked
in a
about the pool
house
table. Have
next
I
to a
talked about
cemetery.
Yes, I'm not afraid of headstones like Sean. Sean's on my deck, and I go, it's dark out, and I go, and over there is a cemetery, and he goes, oh, I wish you hadn't just told me that. I'm gonna go inside now.
It's
That
unsettling.
is hilarious.
We're in his basement, Katie. I'm like, hey, have you ever thought about like 10 feet from this wall, there's dead people?
Yeah, and they've been dead for over 100 years, most of them.
Still
It's a
there.
very old cemetery. It's so old that the headstones don't even have names. They just say father and mother.
How old are they?
That's creepy.
Hello, mother. Hello, father.
My love is, since Coley was in the chat, Coley's parents gifted me their old pool table. Had it delivered to my
Sweet.
house. So
Yeah.
now will I pass the time while Bridget's gone? I'll go shoot pool in the basement by myself and cry softly in the silence between the sounds of clinking balls.
Look at us getting new hobbies.
Yeah.
Yeah. So there's my hate and my love, and that's it. And that is episode 12 of the Gridiron Podcast. And unlike last week's episode, I'm actually going to take down the lower third there because I didn't last time when we closed with hate or love. It's still there. Any closing remarks, folks?
Make sure to like, subscribe, and give us a 5-star review. And if you write something nice about us, we'll read it out on the next podcast.
Katie's got nothing. I don't have anything else either. That's Katie Caldwell. That's Sean Barie, and I'm Nick Shook, and I almost called myself Sean Barie. Sean, how do we end the show?
As always, folks, thanks for listening to the Gridiron Podcast. We'll be back next week with more Formula Football fun. Until next time, live life in the fast lane.
Triple F. I like that.
Mm.